Here are my audience members for my ceremonial speech. I motivate others by making sure that they understand to go after their dreams and don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Magic Irvin Johnson, he said these words, and it describes perfectly who he is as a person. Magic will forever be known as one of the greatest basketball players and athletes that has ever lived, but it's his work off the court that makes him a great human being. He uses worldwide stardom and fame to advocate and help those who aren't as fortunate as him. And Magic Johnson is an incredible athlete and person, and I'll explain why in these three main points. First, he was a tremendous basketball player. Second, he's an advocate in fighting HIV and AIDS. And third, he's incredibly charitable. Over his 13-year NBA career, Magic Johnson solidified himself as one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the point guard position in the game as a whole. And because of this, he is now enshrined in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, which is the highest honor a player or coach can reach. My first main point is Magic Johnson was a tremendous basketball player. On the National Basketball Association's online encyclopedia, it states that Magic Johnson was so great, perhaps, that future generations of hoops fans may wish they had entered the world years earlier just to see him play in person. He was known as an innovative and revolutionary player in the game of basketball because he was a 6'9" point guard, the tallest to ever play that position in the NBA, when most players were usually small that played that position. He also accomplished nearly everything a basketball player can by winning 3 MVP awards, 3 Finals MVPs, 5 NBA championships. He was elected to 12 All-Star games, won an NCAA championship, and also a gold medal in the Olympics. These are just a few of the many accolades that he currently holds, and they just prove how great of a player Magic Johnson truly was in the sport of basketball. In his biography found online on biography.com, Johnson had a great NCAA career as well before his outstanding NBA career. He attended college at Michigan State University and was a highly touted player coming out of high school. While in college, Magic went against another basketball legend when he faced Larry Bird in the Indiana State University in the 1979 NCAA championship game, which has been labeled as one of the greatest college basketball games of all time. He left college after his second year after winning that championship and was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers first overall, where he helped take the team to the NBA Finals and a championship, where he'd later be named Finals MVP. This would be just the beginning of a long career in the NBA, and with him being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. In review of the first reason we are celebrating the sports legend, Magic Johnson is a unique player who played the point guard position possibly better than anybody else did, while also being the tallest to ever do so. His illustrious career allowed him to win numerous awards and break many different records. After being diagnosed with HIV, Johnson used his fame and stardom from his playing days to help lead the fight against HIV/AIDS all over the world. Magic Johnson is an advocate in the fight against HIV/AIDS, and this is my second main point. Benjamin Snyder, author of Fortune magazine article written on December 9th, 2014, Magic Johnson, the businessman behind the basketball. He talks about the success that Johnson has had while advocating against HIV/AIDS. Because of all the work he has done being an advocate, Johnson was awarded the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Legacy Award in late 2014. He became just the second person ever to win that award in the 60-year history of Sports Illustrated. This award is given to people in the world of sports who have given back to the world in some way outside of their sport. And he got this for his work in the world of HIV research and prevention by raising money and promoting safe sex practices. These advocacy programs have been widely praised. In the New Yorker article, How Magic Johnson Fought the AIDS Epidemic, written by Michael Spector on May 14, 2014, Spector praises the sheer amount of work Johnson has put in to help fight against the AIDS epidemic. He explains that Magic Johnson was a perfect person at the perfect time to step out and fight HIV and AIDS. In the early 90s, when AIDS was very prominent, Johnson announced to the world that he had HIV, and immediately testing across the country for HIV rose exponentially. He was a highly famous athlete who decided to not keep a disease a secret, but instead to embrace his disease, and he wanted to help those that are also affected by it. And he continues his advocacy today for HIV and AIDS. To review the second reason we are celebrating the sports legend, Magic Johnson is a popular advocate in the fight against HIV. He's a world-renowned athlete that came to the forefront of the AIDS discussion, and no other person has done more in that fight than perhaps Magic Johnson. Not only has Johnson helped the entire world with his HIV/AIDS advocacy, but he also has helped to save urban communities here in the U.S. For my third main point, Magic Johnson is very charitable. Snyder again goes on to explain how much Magic's charity, the Magic Johnson Foundation, has done for the urban communities in which he helps. Uh, the charity that he is heavily involved in focuses on three main objectives. The first is fighting HIV and AIDS. The second is funding of urban education programs. And the third is to create urban community involvement. Since starting the charity after his HIV announcement, the MJF serves over 250,000 people a year across the country. Jack McCollum, author of Sports Illustrated article "We Believe in Magic," written on December 15, 2014, he states that the MJF has grown over the last 24 years and that his plans for the future are continuing to grow. Since starting the foundation after his HIV announcement, it has donated about $15 million, but it's largely believed that Magic Johnson himself has donated much more than that, just out of his own pocket. And over the years has done very well financially and continues to meet all the objectives each year. In review, the third and final main point, we are celebrating the sports legend Magic Johnson because he's so charitable. He used his fame to start a successful charitable organization that helps three different causes. And soon after his HIV diagnosis, Magic Johnson said, "To me, everything is wonderful. Life is wonderful." And this was said by a man that was just diagnosed with one of the deadliest diseases this world has ever seen. And he did everything, right? He had everything going for him at the time, but he never let it get him down. Even though Johnson was the greatest to ever play the game and didn't let the sudden sad news crumble the world around him, he took action and used his stardom to help in the fight against HIV and AIDS and to help the urban communities across the country. Magic Johnson is an incredible athlete in person for three reasons. First, he was a tremendous basketball player. Second, he is an advocate in the fight against HIV and AIDS. And third, he is very charitable.